Oh my goodness, look out below. Look out, Wade. Look out. Top of Polo. Oh, DDT through the table.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And we're here for the Crown Jewel 2022 review. Yes! Let's start from the Tag Team Championship. Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus the Damage Control. Here to control their damage, Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Actually, before jumping into that, fans were having meltdown. Because in the intro, they showed Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Everybody just kept on yelling, Sasha! I'm like, what happened? And I was trying so hard because I was on the road when it was happening. And I was trying so hard to connect. I'm like, is she back? I'm like, oh, no, she's not. In fact.
Yeah, so both Sasha Banks and Naomi were in the intro. But it seems like they played the old intro as a mistake.
Maybe like they couldn't ship it to Saudi Arabia or something. I don't know.
Because the other parts were also like from old ones.
Yeah.
It might be a mistake, or it might be planned mistake.
I mean, Michael Cole has been mentioning Sasha Banks a lot more lately. I just feel like they're dropping tiny little hints, and I know they had just recently canceled a signing that we're both gonna do. So
Yeah, and then did you see that Sasha Banks posted something on Instagram saying that she's got something big coming up?
no, I didn't. Ooh.
The date is coming that I've been waiting for past 6 months, and I can't wait. But I'm really gonna make most of this November to make all my dreams happen in preparation for this date that I've been waiting for.
She's probably posting that to like swerve people. Just gonna like announce like a wig collection or something, which would be amazing.
Okay.
What if it's a reveal wig?
I was thinking more like she was gonna be in a movie finally.
I thought wig collection.
Back to the tag championship match. So before this match happened, so Alexa and Asuka were doing some interviews backstage, and then there was some Bray Wyatt situation.
She's like,
So that's something. I'm surprised that they didn't really come into the match or later in the Bray Wyatt segment. Nothing really happened. I mean, some people are saying that it's Alexa Bliss's face in the promo. But I don't know. What stood out to you in this match?
first of all, it stood out how their new gear and their bodysuits don't look as awkward. Remember how long oversized t-shirts and long sleeve shirts? Oh my gosh, that's the first thing that stood out to me, where it wasn't a distraction, because I feel like before it was very, I mean, obviously we all know why they have to do that and but before it was more distracting, and now it's like, oh, it actually fits their character, it fits their gimmick, it fits their personality.
Before they looked like they were going to a pajama party.
Yes.
But now, Damage Control all had a unifying look. The white
cute.
Space astronaut almost look.
Yeah.
Have you wrestled in full-on bodysuits before?
I haven't, no, thankfully.
I wonder how they smell.
Oh my gosh. It doesn't matter, because guess what? I have some Dossier to make me smell good.
This video is brought to you by Dossier.
I mean, not gonna lie, there's been a few times where I've been in a wrestling ring with people who don't smell as good as we do. So maybe we should give them our discount code of Ring the Bell 10.
And also, it's getting cold, and this is a cuffing season, right?
Yes.
So get your man, get your woman, get your they them by smelling nice. And all these fragrances are inspired by designer collection, which is amazing, but they are freaking expensive. So do not break your bank and go with Dossier and smell as great as all those designer fragrances.
Yes, without paying that price. And it's so funny because I'm sure you see so many of these videos promoting stuff that don't use it. Like, we really actually use this product, yo.
Every day.
For sure.
Just for you guys watching Ring the Bell videos, we've got special discount code RINGTHEBELL10 for a 5% discount on everything. And the news is that there will be tons of major discounts coming up.
And you can still use our discount code on top of that, too.
Yes, you can bungle it together. Smash burger discount. It'll be amazing.
Bungle it.
Wait, what is it? Not a word?
I don't know. I thought it was bundle and bungle.
Oh, bundle it?
That's
English
so
is
cute.
difficult. English is difficult.
So funny how much time like either of us can't say certain words every time we film.
And they also have a new payment method that lets you earn store credit. Select catch at the last step of checkout and you will earn $10 bonus credit, which is awesome!
Thank you, Dossier!
One thing that really stood out to me was Alexa. She was wrestling!
She was.
She said, I'm a wrestler now!
She was. I noticed that she had very high energy throughout the whole match. And at first, when she was gonna get the hot tag, I was like, I think maybe Asuka should have gotten the hot tag. But then she came in, I was like, oh, All right, prove me wrong, Alexa Bliss. It was a good thing that she got the hot tag.
I know, it's like, she got the memo that Triple H cares about work rate, so I'm like, let me change it up a little bit.
I totally see what you mean, though. She definitely came here to wrestle. I really feel like she flipped the switch. And it's crazy. I think it just kind of speaks to how talented Alexa Bliss is, which I think I sometimes try to diminish, because it's there. Obviously, she could turn it on. So come on, girl, just leave it on. You're in WWE. No need to phone it in. Maybe in house shows have some fun. But it was kind of obvious what Alexa Bliss looks like when she wants to wrestle and what Alexa Bliss looks like she's kind of phoning it in, because it's there.
The Tornado DDT was really cool. The code-red looked amazing. Obviously, EO is a really great seller. But those spots, very impressive. And I'm like, yes, Alexa, you're back. Asuka was so popular in this match.
Oh my gosh, so popular, so over. The moment when Asuka and Io got into the ring was explosive.
Right.
Like, not only did people really light up, like people were standing up and we're just so excited. And can we just please, I don't know how we get to it, please get a 20-minute WrestleMania match with Io and Asuka, please. Like their opening sequence that they did, their back and forth, I literally watched it like 3 times. I'm like, can I pull this off? Minus the 2 double back handsprings. Sorry, can't do that. I have a match later tonight. Do you think I could probably pull this off with my opponent? I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. Or is it inspired spot by them?
And I love that people are really getting excited about Io versus Asuka too. And also, Michael Cole, it seems like he has more free reign to talk whatever he wants to. So he's really nerding out about all his Joshi.
Triple Tails reference.
Right.
Oh my god.
All his Joshi expertise. I think Io is getting more and more comfortable in the ring.
Agreed. The last time it was like, oh, she misses Japan, she misses family, she wants to go back.
Yeah.
And you could really, kind of goes back with Alexa Bliss, so you could kind of tell when somebody's really feeling it. But I feel when you're working with somebody that you like, love, respect, is your friend, that almost like takes it up a notch. But like, I couldn't believe that Io and Asuka could get better in the ring, but they both are still pulling off different moves. Springboard dropkick that Io did in the corner to Asuka was so cool and innovative. I'm like, I don't think I've seen that before.
And you kind of talked about it already, but in this match, Asuka was the one that needed saving, and because she was really selling her injured knee, which she talked about on her Kana-chan YouTube show.
右膝を怪我してしまってまして
Dakota, I feel like, was almost a really good supporting role in this match, and that's okay because I feel like she has other times to shine. I still love that she does her kicks on it. That corner kick is a thing of beauty. I don't know how she gets her leg that high up there. I guess that's what people do when they have long legs. I wouldn't know. I feel like Dakota Kai was more of the supporting role, and that's okay because there needs to be like a place and role for everybody. Not every single person is going to be like the breakout star at every single match. I'm okay with it, except I don't want her to stay in that role. Like if maybe next time they have a match, she gets featured a little bit more. She has a little bit more high energy, high octane spots. But I do love the way that Dakota Kai looks.
She looks crazy.
She looks so cool.
With her 2 ponytails, she looks freaking crazy. I love it. They also obviously did the mandatory Tower of Doom spot.
Of course, as always, as any multi-person match or tag team match. But this one worked out pretty well. Sometimes it's a little bit scary. I mean, I've definitely been in Tower of Doom because it's a lot of moving parts. Literally, body parts are moving in it. But this one worked out pretty well. And I think Alexa Bliss being on top was definitely the best call for that.
That was impressive for me because Alexa says she's going to take a bump this time.
Yeah. Like you said, she came to wrestle and she's like, all right.
This is Alexa Bliss bump monkey era.
Yeah.
The match was heating up really nicely at the end. I thought Alexa was going to take the win again with Twisted Bliss, but it's Nikki Cross that came in. Devastating. Top rope neck breaker.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. That looked devastating.
Yeah.
Helped Damage Control take back the title.
Yeah. Which I feel like, why even lose it? Made sense because it was with assistance, but still, like the hot potato with the tag titles.
You know, it got me all turned up. Because I was like, what the f***? I feel like if they didn't lose on Monday, I wouldn't have cared this much about this match.
Okay.
So I think Triple H got to me. Even though I don't like hot potato, I was like, you know what? You did right. You really made me want to like tune in and see what the hell is going on. I did like that Nikki Cross acted as a wild card here.
Yeah, me too, because it made me think, so does that mean Nikki Cross is going to join Damage Control? Does that mean just Nikki Cross and Alexa are going to go off and have their own feud? So that's really what leaves me wondering on what way she could go.
That's really interesting because Alexa and Nikki Cross, as WWE commentators mentioned, they have really really big friendship, history, all that stuff. So that could be its own thing. But I think eventually they're all just building towards War Games.
Yeah, which would be amazing.
Yeah, and then I think Nikki Cross will be an interesting wild card.
I really, in general though, I really like this match. It was very high energy. I think it delivered more than I thought. Not that I had low expectations or anything, but it was cool to see everybody that was on. It was a very fun, fast-paced match. I really liked how it wasn't the very typical, like, cut the ring in half and just a lot of beat down, because Asuka still had a lot of offense in.
Yeah.
Like, she never looked like dead. She still sold very well, especially her knee was so convincing. And I love that she talked about it in her YouTube show too. Like, we love a continuity queen for sure. Hopefully the tag titles don't go anywhere for a while.
I mean, I get that they are basically building for War Games, and they've been doing that for basically
while.
since SummerSlam,
Yes.
right? But during that, and this being kind of merged into Bianca versus Bayley, Bianca versus Damage Control storyline, the tag team title is again kind of a prop to that bigger storyline, which I have issues with. Sasha and Naomi issues with. Incredible match.
Yes.
But let's move to the next match, because the last women's standing match for the Raw Women's Championship, Bayley versus Bianca Belair, this blew my freaking mind.
Oh, totally. It was insane, entertaining, saw spots that I was like, what is going on, in the best way possible.
But before that, first thing that happened with what was going on was that drones, the 2,000 drones. It was really cool.
It was. I was like, at first I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, I really thought it was just like digital at first.
Apparently Bianca made her own gear.
Really? I feel like that would be so hard because there's so much more material, so much more stitching to do. But of course, what can Bianca not do?
That's the entire theme of this match, because what can't Bianca do? In every way, just tops herself again and again. And this match was one of the most entertaining matches I've seen.
Yeah, of the whole night too. It was enough where it didn't necessarily felt out of place, but it definitely stood out.
The usual last standing match, how it goes, is that a lot of counting.
Yes,
a lot of counting. And then at the end, huge holy shit move, 10 count.
That's it.
Incapacitated. Incapacitated. You win. That's like the general rule of this. But they like flipped the script and they started coming up with all these like very creative ways to make sure that they don't get up.
Yeah, totally. I really liked the spot with Bianca was pinned into the ring with the stairs in front of her. That was really cool. I was like, what? But I also thought it was a missed opportunity for Bianca to sneak underneath the ring and come out with like a weapon and be like, surprise, Bayley.
I think it was a missed opportunity that she just didn't do whac-a-mole.
Really cool. That'd be so adorable. With a candlestick.
Yeah, she's like, no, but I love that spot. It was so creative.
Whack-a-mole.
When Bayley put Bianca inside that crate.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, thank God it's not pink.
That was so creative.
It was very creative. And then her braid got stuck in it, too. Can we talk about golf carts in wrestling? Like, what is going on with the use of golf carts in wrestling? It never goes right. But that Bayley holding on top of Bianca's driving down the ramp was hilarious.
It was a political statement that women can
drive. Yes, that's what I thought too.
But very cautiously though.
I know. She was so careful. Stopped even before. It was cute.
Yeah, I mean she's not gonna be like Sammy Guevara and then like just do that spot. So she was very careful. They drove all the way back to the ring and then threw her off the golf cart but missed the table.
I am the table. It didn't break. Ah.
But it's okay. Bianca's a veteran. Bayley's a veteran, so she did the powerbomb, which was
it worked out. I just really thought when I saw that happen, I'm like, please don't be the finish. Please don't let this be the finish. If this is a finish, it'll kind of like kill the match. I was so relieved when that wasn't the finish because I thought it would be really weird. I kind of hated how you could very obviously see where the table was gimmicked. That made me a little bit sad. I think I was mainly focusing on it because the table didn't break the first time, but I was just like, man, it's not that hard to go through a table. So even if it's not gimmicked, come on. But I also get it. You're putting your body on the line and wrestle so many times. But I was just like,
I got chills when people were screaming when the golf cart came off. Like it was just so much fun. It was just full of amazing spots after spots. The possum.
Oh, yeah. I was all like concerned, okay, I'm gonna beat you up. Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna beat you up. Like, oh, okay, I'm concerned now.
I legit thought she was hurt.
Really? Oh, good, it worked.
I get worked on this all the time. I was like, wait a minute, no.
It just means they're doing their job. So yay. I also loved after that, like, she opened, like, the little barricade door. I'm like, barricades have doors? I had no idea. But I thought that spot was another creative spot, too. Did you see the candlestick? Like, was oddly standing up? American? Like, what is going on?
I also love that they obviously planned out the entire thing, so you could see that they planned something like 5-6 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They would come back to that spot to do. It was like architect.
Yes.
They were building
Seth
their
Rollins
match.
too.
Exactly. So well constructed match. I mean, action to the 450 off top rope. Oh my
So
God.
good. I actually really liked how the spots all made sense because I feel like a lot of time any gimmick match feels like spot for the sake of spots. But these spots didn't seem like they were choreographed or like super planned out. They seemed like they were just like almost like natural and free flowing. Like they use a lot of different weapons that are you used to seeing like a gimmick match, but also like busting out new stuff, like stuff with the stairs, the golf carts, and anything else like that. KOD on the chair, that was so. And I think Bayley thought the chair might have been too far out, but then she ended up while she was upside down. This was very impressive how she was upside down and still managed to like move the chair. I think it ended up being worse for Bayley. Like. It was so bad. It looked devastating. I'm like, oh my God. Like Bayley like almost like, oh hold on, let me make sure I kill myself more. It was crazy.
It landed on her knee, which was so scary.
It was so scary. I mean, it kind of worked out because it led up into the finish.
You know, another really scary spot for me was when Bayley did the belly to belly on the ground, which looked really scary.
Yes, it really did. It really did because the around the ring in WWE is very soft for the most part, but in Saudi Arabia, I feel like I don't think this is the same padding because it looked rough for sure. Like I even couldn't even tell like in her face. She's like, "What? Damn!" Like that hurt way more than I thought it would.
So at the end, oh my God, I love this spot so much. And obviously, I loved Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, last woman standing when powerbombed off of the top rope to the outside. That was cool. Yeah. But this one was so creative, where she just basically trapped Bayley between the ladder
and like Bayley sandwich.
Put it underneath the ring post so she can't like open it.
It was creative for sure. I also thought it was very telltale sign that it wasn't as definitive as I thought it would be because I feel like the powerbomb off the top is very definitive. Like, I beat her up so much she can't stand up. But this is more, I outsmarted her that she can't stand up. So this is why I don't think that the rivalry is going to be completely dead yet, just because it wasn't as definitive as a 10 count that she can't get up. I loved it. Creative, fun. I also thought, I'm like, can Bayley really just like kind of wiggle up? But whatever, that was just me being a cynical. Just go to the side. It's kind of like the bank statement. Just sit out.
No, but I think Bayley was a really good actress here. There's some spots in wrestling where like you can obviously tell they can like, you know, when they're like their hands in between stare, like you can obviously, but they're like. I hate that shit. But in this, Bayley was like, you could tell that she was trying to lift it, but she realized she can't do it, so she was like, okay, let me do it this way, but it was like too late. She let that thought process show, so I was like, okay, Bayley.
I thought it was so funny too how I think she even like yelled out for Michael Cole at one point, like when she was stuck, even though they have a random ass rivalry going on. I just thought it was funny, like she's like, help! Like anybody, she was just so desperate to get out, but you're right, she did a really good job. And I really liked how Bianca was super celebratory with the chair in her hand. I'm like, she's about to chunk this chair. And then even the ref was like, oh, bring that chair back. But she's like, oh, kind of realized it, kind of like still like a little bit through it. But I love when Bianca wins because her facial expressions and how she acts totally just reminds me of like WrestleMania. Because I feel like every time she wins, she's literally like, oh, I won. Like she does such a good job of like exuding joy that makes me even more happy when she wins.
So, I mean, you said this rivalry might go on, and it probably will because we have War Games, but I'm like, Bayley, you lost a Hell in a Cell match, you lost a ladder match, and you lost the last women standing match.
Like, what else is there?
What now? You're a loser.
Maybe she'll win like just a straight up regular wrestling match or something. I don't know.
How is Bayley gonna have a good excuse to elongate this storyline?
Yeah, that's a good question because I feel like if Bianca would be like, I've beat you this many times, get to the back of the line type of thing. I think they have been doing a really good job in women's storylines where it leaves me wanting more. Yeah. So I think that's what makes me want to tune in for the next show, for the next pay-per-view.
This match was so good. And Bianca and Bayley, like, above and beyond. I freaking loved it. But she's becoming like a super Bianca.
Yes. Like it's so weird when WWE does this. They built up this big superstar, but they almost like book themselves into a corner because they're like, who's gonna beat them then? They're also not building somebody else up. to make it believable. Because now, like, if she wrestles Bayley again, I feel like, oh, well, she's going to get beat again because she's been beat Bayley so many times. I feel like they do such a good job of really concentrating on one person. But I feel like where they lack is that they don't build up a second, like, worthy opponent next. Or, like, build up anything that should be a threat. Because, like you said, Bianca is a legit super Bianca.
Yeah.
Like, she evolved to, like, on her third evolution of Pokemon style. I just wish there was spend as much time cultivating their current stars as they are, like, building up others that could be a feasible threat.
What I'm more worried about Bianca Belair is that there are some Bianca fatigue coming up.
Yeah, I could see that. She's just so good.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard to do that.
She's Super Saiyan.
Yes, she really is. If it was probably anybody else, the fatigue would have set in already. Yeah. But I think it speaks volumes to the athlete and performer that Bianca is that it hasn't set in yet. But I feel like if they keep on going with this, it could I could see that coming by, like, maybe even Survivor Series.
I kind of felt bad for Bayley. she's a heel. This makes me think, like, are they just waiting for someone big to return to finally face Bianca and be the challenge for her? Like Charlotte Flair? Or Sasha or Naomi?
Is
Becky? Or Becky?
Think so?
I wonder if that's what they're just waiting for.
I'm not sure, because I do feel, I never even thought about that until you brought that up, but I also feel like that's almost like the easy way out for waiting a return. And all the people that you return are already huge stars that don't necessarily need the build-up for it.
But also, I know that this year is War Game format, but damn, I want to see Ronda versus Bianca now. At this point, that would have been good.
Yeah, it would.
Especially with Ronda Rousey, like, forming an alliance with Shayna Baszler. They're going to be a huge force in SmackDown.
I cannot wait.
Rhea Ripley, she did the same thing, basically. There's a Rhea problem going on with the OC, where Rhea Ripley's keep low-blowing everyone, crushing their balls, but then they can't do anything about it.
Some people pay a lot of money for that. She's giving it out for free for everybody in the OC.
So, and the OC was like, we have to come up with something to solve this Rhea problem. And I was like, okay, they have to come up with the female member by Saudi show. They decided not to. They maybe just try to bring one in Raw.
Yeah, hopefully.
What do you want to see?
I don't know, be somebody random like Aaliyah or something.
Oh, that's so random. I'm thinking Mia Yim.
Okay, okay.
I also feel like Piper Niven / Piper, get rid of that dewdrop name, will be a great pick too.
Also, just want to say that Rhea looks so good, and I heard commentary say that her haircut was a tribute to Beth Phoenix.
Rest in peace, Beth Phoenix.
See, that's why.
She said
so cute. It's a tribute.
For passed away Beth Phoenix.
Okay, let's just say it. Let's see Rhea versus Beth.
Yeah, I want to see Rhea versus Beth, yeah. That was Crown Jewel. It was very entertaining.
It was.
I want to talk about SmackDown really briefly, because SmackDown was such a good show. Liv Morgan versus Sonya Deville dated a whole non-disqualification match. Liv really, I guess she was upset about how Ronda Rousey match went. So she was like, you know what? Let me redo it with a little less well-known MMA fighter, Sonya Deville.
I know, it's just about like, sorry, Sonya, you're going to get bad end of this thing, but whatever, I'm bringing it.
And she like laid her shit in. I'm very excited about what's happening with Liv. And then Shayna and Ronda Rousey alliance, that's so exciting to me.
I'm very excited. I mean, I know it just like kind of was cultivating officially, but I am more excited about them turning on each other.
You're right.
The eventual turn on each other. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for this for sure, and I hope to have a good run for it. I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there, put the tag titles on them. If we're gonna play hot potato, might as well put her in like two badass teams. But that's what I'm looking for more the most. It's like the eventual turn on each other.
Yeah, that's gonna be so good. But I also am just like so excited about this reign of terror. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. Who can beat them? Like nobody. Also, bipolar Natalia becoming face again, and then she got her nose cracked, bleeding everywhere. That was a great way to solidify this alliance.
Yeah, totally. For some reason, I always think when somebody bleeds, it makes them like it looks so much cooler, and like I was like, yeah, it makes them look like a little bit more of a badass, not only for them but also whoever like delivered the blow. It's like almost like you said, solidify it.
Do you think this is Natalia's the man era?
Ooh, yeah. See, she could be the woo man.
The main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Come on, Natty.
Another thing from SmackDown. Who would have thought that we'll get Xia Li versus Emma feud?
Nobody. I did not. This, like, I didn't have that in my bingo card. It wasn't even produced. Like, what is going on? I also feel like Xia Li has turned into like Emalicious. What was her name? Emelina. Like,
Why?
Yes, I follow her like Instagram and all this stuff. And she's like super like posting like extremely good thirst pics. I'm like, okay, Emelina Zaya Lee over here.
Emma's such a good heel. I guess she's face now. I think she should just start dabbing already because that was her best face era.
I know, and it's so bad because that's one of the best things that I remember about Emma, but hopefully she'll change my mind.
Thank you so much for joining in for our Crown Jewel review. Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And DS, where can we find you?
You can find me at DSGen and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. And don't forget our Dossier promo code RingTheBell10 for your discount.
Could smell as good as we do.
Yes. Alright, see you next time. Bye.